Hello, this is Angela with Dogwood Paper Arts, and I got a frog in my throat already. Water, hang on, I'll take a drink. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know where those come from, but yeah, anyway. I think I got rid of it, at least for a while. So today I want to show you how I made this really cute journal, and I can't remember. Oh, Buttons for Brains made it, and Shabby something. Anyway, I'll write them in the description box. Sorry, I got the names a little off my brain right now. Anyway, it's this really cool Shabby tag journal, and I use Creeley's large tags to cut this out like these, and this is Creeley's, and you can find them online. They are in the UK, I believe, or the Netherlands. And anyway, I use the big tag die. That tag measures from here to there 8 inches, 8 1/8 inches by 4 inches, 8 1/8 by 4 inches. So it's a good sized little journal. And if you want to do this with these kind of tags, you need, or any other, you need 4 cutout tags, and I have 4. There it is. I knew I did. I was going to use Tim Holtz paper to make this, but I've decided on a different one. But let's look at the journal. You can see it extends out both sides, and then I went through and put in a bunch of things to hang off of it. But this journal opens like this, so it's an accordion journal. So you can see I brought my paper out when I started it right here and extended it out about 1/2 inch, and then I put all kinds of pockets in it. And the reason I extended them down lower was so that I would have stability in my folder. I did notice that maybe I came down too far over here because it didn't feel really stable, and that's why I had to bring all of these down to touch the table, was to create that stability that it needed. Okay, so mine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages, and then you flip it over, of course, and then you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 going this way. It's a very cool journal. I hung a lot of heavy stuff on it just for embellishment and to see what I could do with it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Put a bunch of little doodads on it here and there, and it's just crinkled envelope, and it was a blast to make. And it really did not take that long. You can get it done in an afternoon if you like. Now this one I have made a little differently from that. I did not shabby the bottom like I probably could. It probably would look better if I did. Oh, she kept it even at the bottom. So if we wanted to make it a little bit shorter on the bottom, we could do that. You want it to start at the top of your tag. It's going to go out that way. Is it? Oh yeah, it's going to go this way to start with. See? So it's kind of up to you whether or not you want the bottom to be kind of, you need to cut it off even no matter what you do. So I think this time I'm going to leave mine this length, and I'll just put shabby pockets along the way maybe. What do you think? What should we do? It does look kind of neat with that space in there though, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, well, let's see. What should we do? Would it look better? I think it might. So we could shorten these up a little bit. And going to use my cutting board. And I want to start with this one. I don't think I want to cut it too much smaller. Maybe just about an inch. Right there's an inch. Fear. Let's see. Yeah, you do want to start it at the top of your tag. Okay, so we'll cut off an inch and we'll see what happens. And one more. I think I've cut out 3 of them. Okay. Let me put these behind me because I want to try and keep myself a little clearer workspace this time. Now before we get started on this, she originally made her own tag. Let's say you want one, here, this is a straight edge over here. Let's say you want one 3 inches wide and maybe only 6 inches tall. So if this is a 12-inch piece of paper, which I don't know if it is, let's just fold it over and find out what we have. And then cut that off. And then cut your corners. I don't like to pretend that I can cut these corners well, so I am going to, I think, do it this way. Just going to line that up at the top and give that a little cut. Just like that. Same way over here. Make sure I did that right. I don't think I did. There we go. Just cut these both at the same time. And there you go. You just do your tags like normal. And then you have a front and back. And you just cut smaller pieces of paper. So, I am using 49 and Market. I'm using the Remnants collection. I don't believe they had a whole kit, but I did get parts of a kit. But let's start at the beginning, right here. So what I first did was I scored at 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. And I know that I want this one or this one to be my front. And I think I'll pick this one. Okay, so I scored this at 3/4 of an inch. You want to start towards the top. And then on some of these, what you do is when you make a torn piece to put in, you can line it up down here to touch your table or to be even with this piece here. So that's kind of the idea. So then, since I had this one, this fold is originally going to go so that it goes this way. So this one is even. The first one is even with the side of your piece. See here? And this one sticks out. Then when you fold your next piece, it sticks out. Okay? Yeah. And if you want it to go the other way for this to show on the outside, you would start it this way, I think. No, because then the purple shows on the outside. And it would open this way to start with. So it's kind of up to you, however you want to start it. I am going to start mine this way. And I'm probably going to remove some of that extra white that is there. So anyway, once I got this one cut out and then I scored here, I gave it about 1/2 inch. I scored it. Then I folded it and brought it back. And I measured out about 1/2 inch. And I scored again. That left me this rather large area that's almost 2 inches. It's 1 3/4. So what I decided to do with that was make a side tuck out of it. So I brought in my next piece of paper. It doesn't matter if it's a little taller there or shorter. But you can see I'm going to put it underneath, but I'm not going to slide it all the way back. I don't want it to interfere with this fold line, and I don't want it to stick out from the fold line on the other side. So I'm going to bring it, you know, just to the right of that fold line. And then I'll glue it in place. And then of course, this folds. So your next fold, whoops, this is connected there. Your next fold is going to end up right at the end of this one. So that this fold and this, so that this fold here and this one here are even. Then I rotated it again, made my next mark and scored it. And it goes like this. So where that brings us is to right here, because I kind of like larger books. And I decided, I was just going to cut it off here, and I decided, no, I really want it to be a little bit longer. So once again, I come across this big area to make a pocket. So I'm going to keep it to this side of that score line. Now, I really don't care if this is sticking up like that. That does not bother me at all. Okay, so now I see that it's going to fold somewhere in right there. And it's going to end up right about here where I need my next score line. Ooh, get my pencil. It's way back there. So I'm going to make a line for my pencil line. And I'm going to go ahead and score it. To score it, I'm going to put it up against this to keep it nice and flat. Just find one of these lines that's going to work for you. One of these score grooves. Now this is very thick paper, so I'm giving it quite a good score. Okay, so that's the beginning. Okay, this piece. So it's going to go scored it there. This time it's going to flip this way. And when I glue those two together, I'll make sure that this is lined up for this piece to get glued in. And then you can see that you have another piece over here. Let's see, let me start these right. So I make sure I have them all right. And then you can see that I have this piece left right here. I'm going to make a line and I'm going to score that one as well. And then we'll see if we need to add just a little tiny bit to it. So I'm going to line this up along here and put my line on one of these grooves. And this one's going to go back this way. So now let's see how our book actually ends up. Oops, that's backwards. Oh, there it is. Now because mine is quite a bit wider, it is just a different effect on it, is all. And then when you flip it over, then we have this piece left. Now you can decide if you want to just line that right up and let that be the end of it, or you can keep going and add more to it. I'm going to stop there, and this piece is going to get glued under this one. These two are going to get glued together. But just the flap, not this piece. Okay? Does it make sense? Whew, I hope so. So, my major deciding factor is to decide if I want it to open this way or if I want it to start this way. Actually, I do want it to go the other way, this way, I think. I think so. Yeah, because we can add things along that line to change it, see? We can add pretty much anything we want. So before I get into all that, I want to take a look at this paper here and see if I can get rid of some of the white, little white bits. So it's not quite so much white sticking up there. Hope I'm not tearing a big white spot in the back. And the other thing you could do is get your little scissors out. Maybe not these little ones. No, those are too little. Wrong drawer. These are too big. So you could, this is very thick paper. I think I said that, but yeah, it's it's pretty thick. That's one thing about the 49 and Market. You don't lack for weak paper there. You get heavy duty. Okay. See, that does look better, doesn't it? Yes. And then we'll grunge it up a little bit. So let's go ahead and start right here and glue this piece onto our home base piece like this. And I'm going to glue it onto the right side. I'm going to start this piece right up here on this corner. Okay, just right there. And it does have this empty spot down here. So before I do that, let me get out my ink. I'm using the archival ink right now, just because that's what I could grab. It's the vintage photo, so it is pretty much the same as the other, except for it will last through a little bit of wet glue and stuff. And I need to set my timer, but I think you're just stuck with me, but I will set it for 50 minutes there. That's probably way too long for you. So I apologize if it is. Okay, but you want to take these things step by step. I don't want these to be a long video either, but I do want you to see how I've accomplished it. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that front, but you know, maybe we want to tear that. That is going to be a grungy pocket. So let's give it a little tear. This inside's not going to matter because it will be hidden. It will be hidden in the underneath of it. So there's that. Let's come over here. If that really bothers you, go ahead and grunge it up. And then we really want to mostly get these bits of white. And I'd always like to get these parts too and grunge those up a little bit. Okay, so the next piece, I believe, is this one. Is that right? Yes, it's this one. And it's the one that's going to go right under here. But now what I want to make sure of with this is that this piece lines up back here and that the base is still even. Because you can see here that it could get quite uneven quite fast. And you want to keep this base fairly even. So right there. can see how off it is right there. Okay, so right about there is where I want it to be. So, what I'm going to do, actually, I want to move it in just a little bit. No, I'm not going to be able to. Okay, so what you're going to do is put glue down along the top piece, and then right along this edge of the flap, so that when you fold it over and it's even here and it's even at the bottom, whoa, and it's even no more, then when you fold this piece over, it doesn't glue your this flap to the back one, the one that's under it. Okay, so now we have that one. Let's just see if there's any glue that we need to clean up on this side so we don't glue our pages together. There we go. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. If I had better fingernails, I think it would work a little faster for me. But I have the ones that I was blessed with, so there we go. Okay, so we've got our little tuck spot. Let's come in with our grunging tool. You can clean this up however you like along that top line, or just make it straight across if you like and just make an accordion book. Kind of up to you. Gonna fold this one out. I'm gonna get this one and flip it around and go to the bottom. Going to go back here and get that piece. When you have to ink fast, it really leaves quite a mark along the edge. Almost like it's been in a fire. But it also kind of helps to roll some of that white over. Okay, so what we want to do is tear this little piece off. Let me grab my tearing ruler, we'll see if it'll work. Because we want this piece to be another tuck spot. So it doesn't matter if it's a little crooked. It's grungy. We like it. We love grungy. Okay. So that brings us to this piece. Now, I started going up here. In the original one, she did not do that. She went higher to lower. And I just felt like it needed to be more secure. So that was why I did it high to low and back to high again. But you can see it takes up quite a bit of paper doing it this way too. It uses quite a bit more. By making a large one like this. Just going to kind of rub those in to kind of curl that edge over. Now this is permanent ink that I'm putting on my mat here too. So be careful if you're doing that on your mat and you don't want a permanent ink on it. Okay. So then we come back here. Now one thing I happened to think of was maybe I don't want this to be a nice straight line right here. Perhaps I should tear it off just a little tiny bit, just to kind of grunge it up a little bit. There we go. Yep, I think that's better. Okay. So now I have this, and this, and this. That does stick out just a little bit. That's okay. If you don't want it sticking out that far, you can refold it. Then this piece is going to go in here. Is that right? No. This piece is going in here. We need to grunge up this side. Sorry about that, everyone. Ooh, boy. Really grunged up that one, didn't I? Okay. Okay. This piece is going here. So to put it there, we want to measure these guys back up. And you want to measure up the sides and this base. You want it to be even along here, not crooked like I have it. And you have to remember, you've taken some off of the sides, so it's not going to be as deep as it was before. So you're going to put your glue right along here. And then right along here. I don't know how deep that goes. And right along there. Okay, line it up on the bottom. Line it up over here. Fold that piece over. Make sure it's right. Now, if you don't like that piece sticking up, just tear it off. The nice thing about this is you can just tear them off. Now, see how straight that is there? I should have grunged it up. But I've saved a piece to take care of that. And we're going to use this. We're going to tear it off right here. Just like that. I'm going to tear off the top. And we're going to come in here. Just like this. Oh, no, we're not. I have a couple of them, so. You don't want to put it on the fold line because then it will get too messy. Whoops, I ripped it. Darn it. Gotta be gentle with these fragile items. So go like that. So I'm just going to place it down along there. Now I'm going to put glue under this one. So if you forget to grunge, you can always come back and grunge. I have another grungy one here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I saved them just in case. I think we'll go like this. And tear it off right there. Quick and easy. A grungy fix. Okay, let's check it out, see how it looks. Okay, let's put this piece on first, and then we'll double sure that we have it so it'll fit with the back piece. The only place you're going to put glue is on this 3/4 of an inch strip. Main camera? Oh, nope. Had it a little glued together there, didn't I? Okay. Now, going to glue it right up there. I want it to be fairly even with that fold line. But where I most want it, I want it even down here mostly, so that it's, you know, at a good shape for being a card. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold these. And that puts us back here to this one. And this is what I wanted on the back. Now this time, instead of lining it up on here, we are lining these two tags up. Now it might help, I don't know, to get your scoreboard and put your tag against a straight line. Put your glue on here. You're just going to glue the whole rest of that flap down. You can cut some of it off if you want, just to save on weight and bulk. Whoops, didn't need to go over that far. Only needed to go to the edge of the piece. Sorry about that. So, the edge of the piece is only right about here. And I was really trying to glue the whole thing down, wasn't I? And then if you want, go ahead and put a little glue along this edge. You'll have to wipe some off. Okay, line this up at the bottom. Line that one up with the other one. And there we go. Okay. Shall we see how it does? I forgot to grunge this one up. Actually. Okay. So, there we are at the beginning of our accordion fold card. So, to finish it up for today, let's take and put on the backs of our cards. And I think I'll put this one here. And this one on the back. Or that. Either way. Yeah. And then we'll call it quits for today. And then tomorrow we'll come back. I'll have embellishments ready, and we'll tear some pockets and put some pockets on it. And tear up some ephemera and put ephemera on it. Or maybe you'll get 2 videos in one day. I don't know. I haven't decided that part yet. Okay, just line it all up best you can. There we go. And flip and fold back to the back. And you can see we didn't grunge up this side because we don't need to. And we're going to put this back here. Or should it be this? Got a lot of flowers in it. Maybe it should be the flowers. It's kind of nice having a little bit of roses in there with newspaper article. So I'm going to go with the newspaper article. I guess I did have a whole remnants pack. I bought extras of another one to put into my altered book journal. So, let's see. Sounds like somebody's racing their car downtown. It's really loud. We're quite a ways from town, but sometimes you can hear them out on the highway if it sounds like they're having a race. Okay, going to line those up. And that one, and that one. All right. And there we go. Now the other thing I'm going to want to do, and perhaps I should wait till I decorate it. That's what I did before. I waited to hole punch things, but I think we'll go ahead and hole punch this one. I know we're going to want one right there, a dangle, right at the beginning. I'm going to use the, what is it, 3/16, or yeah, the 3/16 inch. I'm going to go in about 1/2 of an inch. There we go. So I know I'm going to want one there, and it's highly likely that I'm going to want one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and hole punch it, just so I remember that I want to put something there. There we go. And then, you know, this looks like a really super good spot for a hole punch, so I'm going to put one there because that's a mighty fine place. Kind of have to put it at an angle there so you don't get too close to the torn edge. So that gives us 3 hole punches. And then, let's see, probably are going to want one. Oh, I don't know. We'll have to think about it. You know, this is another good place for a dangle, right in there somewhere. Or just for a ribbon, or, you know, we don't really want it on this same line as that one, though. Well, I guess it wouldn't be. It would be right in there somewhere. Well, let's wait and see what we want to do with that. I would say we probably are going to want one. Well, we got one there. Let's wait, see if we put some tags on it that stick out. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this, and come back tomorrow. We won't have all the initial explaining to do about folding, and it should go pretty fast tomorrow. I'll try and have some pockets torn, and we'll get ready to decorate. All right, thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.